Hey y'all, welcome to another edition of Lifting Him Up. Thank you for your time and joining me tonight. I appreciate it. I know you could be doing other things, so thank you very much. Tonight I am going to continue my series on sins of omission, those sins that we commit by not doing things that we should. It's basically, sins of omission are not doing the good things that you know that you should do. Um, the main verse behind the motivation is James 4:17. It says, "Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good, and doeth it not, to him it is sin." So, sort of a little recap. Doing something wrong is a sin of commission. Not doing something right is a sin of omission. So today's topic is going to be disciplining your children. Starting in the Old Testament, I've got a few here. Most of these, actually all of them, are from the book of Proverbs, which was written by Solomon, who was the wisest man who ever lived. So, Proverbs 13:24 says, "He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes." So, basically, it's saying if you don't discipline your children, and this specifically says with a rod, so a belt or, some other physical spanking, then you hate your child. Not my words, his words. Proverbs 22:15. "Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him." So, obviously, children are ignorant of a lot of things in the way of the world and how things are, especially things that might be dangerous for them. So, if they don't learn to listen to you over fear of being punished, they could get hurt. But that foolishness is their naivety and not knowing the world. But if you correct your children to get them to respect you, it'll drive that foolishness away from them and help them live longer. Proverbs 29:17. "Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Yea, he shall give delight unto thy soul." A lot of this stuff I'm just regurgitating. No need for me to expound on every one. Proverbs 19. "Chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare for his crying." I know there's a lot of bleeding hearts out there, especially among grandparents, because they don't want to hurt their children. But our jobs as parents is not to be the child's friend. Our job is to raise functional members of society. So, not doing it because you don't want to hurt their feelings or make them cry, specifically called out in this one. A New Testament reference, Hebrews 12:6. "For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth." So, this disciplining your children doesn't just apply to us. God is following his own rules because he disciplines us when we disobey him. Sometimes directly and sometimes indirectly by just the consequences of our bad decisions. So, I want this to be an encouragement to parents. I know my parents did not spare the rod with me. Anytime I did something wrong, I got whooped. And I learned not to do that thing again. And I think I turned out alright. Of course, I'm a little biased. Not perfect by any means. But, knowing to do good and doing it not That's a sin of omission. The Bible clearly has a lot to say, and this isn't all the verses. That's not the purpose of this video, to go into complete detail and depth. But the Bible is obvious. There's no way around it. You should discipline your children. I know sometimes physical may not always be the best every time, but the physical punishment, some people call it corporal punishment, whatever you want to call it, spanking with a switch, a belt, a plastic whale in some cases, dad, are appropriate. Those punishments are appropriate, and the Lord expects us to discipline our children. Yeah, that's about it. Feel free to comment. I'll be glad to discuss this if you like. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll have a blessed night. Thank you again for your time. If you'd like to join me in church, Sundays, 10 o'clock for Sunday school, 11 o'clock for preaching, 34 Underwood Avenue in Great Falls, South Carolina. Thanks again for watching, and y'all have a beautiful evening.